hello, and welcome to the Lost Archives. My name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master of this ragtag group of heroes and adventurers.
Hi everybody, I'm Claire. I'm playing Mira, who's a Dragonborn Sorcerer, half red dragon, half silver dragon. Originally was a bit of a politician, and now has joined the adventuring life, probably to a greater extent than she ever expected.
Hi everyone, I'm Michael. I'm playing Lockie, a Warforged Artificer. Originally was part of a flying castle, but have since left and resumed an adventure with my now friends.
Cool. Hey guys, I'm Jared, and I play the character of Jin. He is a level 6 Law Bard and a level 2 Hexblade Warlock. I'm currently an associate and ally of the Tempest Guild, and I'm helping them in their goal of stopping the Queen of Dragons, Tiamat.
Hello, I'm Ali, and I'm playing Shana, the Yuan-Ti Sorcerer, who is traveling with the Tempest Adventuring Guild, trying to find the other half of her soul, who is hiding somewhere away, far from reach.
Hi guys, I'm Matt, playing Yervith, the sneaky Wood Elf Ranger and Rogue, who, after a tragic incident in the jungle with his previous expedition, has now joined up with this lovely ragtag group of adventurers and is looking to see what happens next.
Hello! Welcome to the Lost Archives. My name's Owen, I'm the Dungeon Master of this ragtag group of heroes and adventurers, and here they are, look, hello! Well,
Hey.
some of them are here.
Yeah.
We've got most of the crew. The important ones, as Jared says. Unfortunately, we had a little bit of a late minute event pop up for our artificer and our sorcerer. Claire's just a sorcerer, isn't she? Yeah, just a sorcerer.
Yes.
So Claire and Michael won't be here tonight joining us, so it'll just be the four of us. I was going to say the three of us, but it'll be the four of us, three of these lovely people below me, and me, taking you through for Dungeons & Dragons tonight. So we got Ali, Jared, and Matt here, Shana, Jin, and Yervith. So for our Queensland listeners, I hope you guys are staying safe with these floods that are happening right now. Ali is safe, aren't you, Ali? Yeah, I'm mostly safe.
Hill.
What was that? Sorry.
I live on a hill.
You do live on a hill. Yeah.
That helps.
It does help. I'm mostly safe. It's I do have I am now living on an island at the moment. There is water all around. I think we're going to be all right. So I'll keep you posted if anything comes across. I'll chuck it up on the Twitter. I've got some cool photos of the park near my house, which in 3 days turned from a park into an actual 6 meter deep lake.
Wow.
So yeah, it has been nuts. There's some great photos I've got. I think currently the Logan River, which is just down the road from me, is at 11 something meters over its normal level. So it's she's deep. There's a lot of water. But for all the Queensland listeners, I hope you guys are staying safe, and for the Northern New South Wales crew as well, I hope you guys are staying safe as well. It's a pretty rough time with the weather at the moment. We're getting once every 100-year floods every 10 years at the moment in Australia. Not great. So I hope everyone's staying safe and staying well. And I also want to do a quick shout out to anyone who might be listening from the Ukraine. What is happening there is unbelievably atrocious, what Russia is doing. And I'm really sorry to anyone who might be in danger at the moment in the Ukraine. It's really awful. So just want to pass on our sympathies and our support to anyone who's currently facing that situation at the moment, because that's nuts. Yeah, just really, really sorry about what's happening there. That's really shocking. That's it for some serious news. Thank you everybody who came and joined me for the Pokemon Legends Arceus stream on Saturday. We had an absolute blast. Since then, I've almost finished a living dex of every Pokemon. For those of you who aren't aware, it's where you have literally the Pokedex in your boxes, like in the boxes inside the game, where you have one of every single Pokemon. I'm actually almost done. I have been absolutely smashing it in my spare time to try and get that living dex together. So that's been really cool. I will have it on the stream next time. Yeah, I've been making some progress there. I noticed you were playing some Arceus today, Ali. How have you been doing?
I was. I have been spurred on by your living deck, so now I want to do one. Because I sort of like hoard my Pokemon, so I have them all. They're just not organized. So I'm like, all right, let's do this.
No,
I'm
it's
up to
really good.
156, I think.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's good. That's good. It's really great for like the research tasks because I'm like, oh, I haven't finished this research task, so I go to the box, I look on the Pokédex which number it is, and I literally go to the box and pull it out. Like it's been really handy for like organizing things. And the other thing that happened today, like literally as I was about to start the stream, just before we were on, I just jumped on and I found a shiny Psyduck, which is the stupidest looking shiny I've ever seen. It's just bright blue.
It's bright blue, yeah.
It's bright blue. It's like
so
baby
silly.
blue. It's so dumb. At least it's not green, which is like the default they go to. When they don't know what they're doing, they're like, oh, just make it green.
I think Golduck is green though, isn't it?
Oh, there you go then. Yeah, well, that's it. There you go. It looks shit. I won't be using it.
Awful shade of green as well.
It's an
like,
awful
it's
shade of green.
Nice. It's like lime green.
It's like baby snot green. So no, I haven't gotten into shiny hunting yet. That's the second shiny I've caught, and the first one was the Ponyta that they give you at the beginning of the game. So I will get into shiny hunting when I can be bothered, but it just seems like such a time sink. And there's only a few shinies.
Yeah.
What was that?
The mass outbreaks make it much, much easier to shiny hunt.
That's how I found the Psyduck.
Psyduck is like a dark blue. It's not green. I thought it was green, but maybe I
Oh, my Psyduck was light green. It was a light blue, like a baby blue. And is the Golduck like a dark green, is it?
No, it's a weird blue with like, it's got red detailing. I don't know, it looks strange. I just looked it up because I was curious. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like
Cool.
blue and red. I don't know, it's strange. I'll post it.
Fair enough. I'll have to check it out. Maybe it is worth having. Although I would never have it in my party, so I'm not going to bother.
No, I don't
it's a
know.
shit Pokemon. Sorry to Golduck fans, but it's shit. And you're wrong. So I will be doing some more Pokemon Legends Arceus. Maybe this Saturday, maybe not. It kind of depends what's happening with the floods. I will keep you posted. So I think we should probably jump back into Dungeons and Dragons, unless anyone else has got any news they want to share.
No, nothing really.
I've been playing Elden Ring. So
How is Elden Ring? How is it?
Oh my god, it is. If you're a fan of the Souls games,
Yeah, I was going to say it seems very Dark Souls. Hey.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's essentially Dark Souls 4, but it's really good. I
Dark
really
Souls,
love
but
the
with more George R. Martin writing.
yeah, and you ride around a little goat horse, which is pretty fun.
The world there looks really nice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the world is fantastic. The open world is amazing.
Graphically looks really good. I've been super hyped for Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West, but I have not bought it yet because I genuinely don't have time to play it. And if I buy it, it's just going to sit there. I may as well wait till it's on sale if I'm not going to play it right now. So as hyped as I am, I will save that one. Oh, did you guys see the announcement for the next generation Pokemon, by the way?
Yes.
Pokemon Gen 9?
The new starters look.
They look
strange.
okay. They look okay. They grow on you. The first time I saw them, I
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck's up with that duck? And then I gave it like a little bit longer. I came back and checked it out the next day and I was like, oh, these are growing on me. I like the cat. The grass cat looks cool.
Grass cat's cool.
Grass
I
cat's
don't
cool.
know about the fire gator. It kind of looks like an apple.
It does look like
With
an
a-
apple. Or a
with
chili.
like or a chili.
Because it's
Could
set
be a
in
chili.
Spain, isn't it? So it's probably a chili.
Yeah.
Oh, set in Spain.
Well, I think it's
Set in
got a
Spain.
Spanish sounding name. It's like
Yeah.
Fuecoco, I think. which
Fuecoco.
means-
Fuecoco. Which is like fire cocoa. Fuecoco.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I have to say I'm probably so I normally always pick the fire starter because I am a gentleman. I probably except for Rowlet, which is the best starter of all time.
Yeah, Rowlet's sick.
Absolutely. Which is actually Decidueye's artwork actually influenced the artwork for Yervith a little bit. That's where I got some of the designs for Yervith from.
Yeah,
just a
I
fun,
can
just a
see
fun
that.
aside. Just a fun aside.
Absolutely.
But I might be picking a grass starter again. I think it's going to happen. I like the cat. I'm going to pick the cat. Yeah, I'm going to pick the grass cat. Grass kitten. What's it called? It's got a cool name too. I reckon it's going to be Grass Fairy. I've had some predictions about what it's going to be. I reckon it's going to be Fire Dragon, Grass Fairy, maybe Water Ice or Water Steel. Because that'd kind of fit into that circle, wouldn't it?
Water Steel's been done with Empoleon. So I don't know.
True. That's true. That's true. And Fire Dragon wasn't done with Charizard because why? Actual dragon. Most dragon-looking dragon of all the Pokemon. Nah, it's fire flying type, guys. Oh, we've got this giant water dragon. What's that? It's water flying. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
No one makes even less sense. At least Charizard,
Yeah.
you could say it has wings.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I haven't thought about that. Makes no
At least, like, you can
sense.
say it has wings. The other
Yeah,
one,
it has wings. It can fly.
Gyarados, just stays in the water most of the time, from
Yeah.
what I'm aware of. Unless it actually goes and flies. I don't-
In Arceus, it flies around.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it looks
I didn't
cool.
know
Though,
that.
I have to say, it is really cool flying around.
It's not what I'm used to.
No. All right, sorry. I got really excited by Gen 9. I just remembered it then. I was like, oh, yeah, we should all get that and we'll play it. But I have to say, I don't like the character's starting outfit. Have you seen that? It looks so
They're
bad.
so bad.
It looks like my old school uniform from when I was in primary school. And I had flashbacks. I was like,
They
Don't send me
do look
back.
like primary school uniforms, which I
Yeah.
am not a fan about.
no, I much preferred the Sword Shield character looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll deal with it.
My favorite starting outfit is from Gold and Silver. Your character in that game looks so cool.
I don't remember that. What was that one again?
Down the hair.
Yeah, with the hair and the I don't know. They just
Gold
look
Silver
cool.
Trainer. I always liked the Ruby Sapphire. Oh, yeah. That's
like
cool.
Just classic,
Yeah,
but like
it's
a little
very
bit
classic.
more edgier than the original. Like it's pretty
The winner for me now is Arceus, though. That set the bar.
Oh yeah.
The Arceus
absolutely.
outfit's amazing. All right, we've gotten really sidetracked. Sorry, I'll bring us back to Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry, I'll bring us back to Dungeons and Dragons. Sorry, thank you for your patience, everybody, for sitting through our Pokemon chats. Okay. The Tempest Adventuring Guild, a group of mercenaries, explorers, and adventurers, has been working to thwart the machinations of a group known as the Order of the Dragon. This cult has been amassing power, wealth, and knowledge in an attempt to perform a ritual which would bring a dark draconic god, Tiamat, into the world. Our story has been following the escapades of some of the members of this group. Mira, Jin, Lockie, Yervith, and Shana, who are now journeying further north to try and track down an ancient artifact used to summon dragons to the Order's side. Arriving at the edge of the vast expanse of sea ice covering the northern pole of Nostea, the party began their journey by exploring a winding series of tunnels through a massive iceberg. A fight between some frost cubes and the party attracted the attention of kobolds and ice trolls, resulting in the group fleeing down the southern ice tunnels. Coming across a vast cavern filled with frozen bodies and a ship laden with treasure, Jin attempted to pilfer the gold, while the rest of the party faced off against the trolls, resulting in Lockie casting Shatter on the ice. A large hole created by the spell dropped one of the trolls down into the darkness below, awakening and alerting the white dragon, Orathator, to the party's presence. Knowing they were most likely cornered, Mira and Shana used Shape Water to create a small room inside the walls of ice and sealed the party in, while Jin used Leomund's tiny hut to provide some extra protection. After a long rest, the party's fears of being discovered soon came to pass, and emerging from their tiny cave, the group came face to face with Orathator and a small army of ice trolls. Deciding it was worth trying to talk things out, Mira and Yervith were the first to emerge and were able to convince Orathator that they were more useful to the cult alive rather than dead. Things seemed to be going fairly smoothly until Jin gave a bit of sass, incurring the dragon's wrath. The group were able to calm him down, however, and eventually were able to convince Orathator that their goals and his did indeed align, at least closer than those of his and the cult's. With the group in agreement that the Drakhorn, couldn't be left behind, debates soon emerged over whether to take it or destroy it. A brief confrontation with Jin and Shana against the rest of the party resulted in Jin spearing the Drakhorn with his shadow blade, causing the horn to disintegrate into dust. We left off last session with the ashes of the disintegrated horn spilling over the edge of the icy outcropping. Lockie, still in his giant form, sort of stands over you at this point, looking as much as a Warforged can, concerned and worried. Jin, you've just had that moment where you were lying on the ground, the shadowy draconic wings formed and then disappeared back into your tattoo. Lockie at this point sort of turns towards Shana. I really don't understand why you needed to counterspell me.
Like what I was saying last time. Do you remember what happened last time you interfered with a spell? I got a tail. Who knows what would have happened if you had, added an extra spell into the destruction. These aren't just standard artifacts here.
Orathator sort of looks around and goes, I don't understand what the problem is. The horn is destroyed. What is the matter? Is that not our goal?
The destruction of the horn was our goal. It's, more... How old do you think this horn is, Orathator?
The Drakhorn has been around for as long as dragons have. Hundreds of years. This was created by Tiamat herself.
And
It's a powerful
statistically
artifact.
speaking, if multiple spells were hit at once, who knows what could have happened to it?
The horn is protected from magic. That's why I was so curious to see your method of destroying it. I thought you would fail, but you have succeeded. That blade you wield, I have not seen anything like it before. It concerns me greatly.
I sort of sit back up. I sort of look around and, well, a lot of the unknown fears people. A lot of people fear the unknown, not really knowing what's going on. I just know that this sword had the power, and it was able to destroy the horn. Exactly what we wanted.
Only an artifact created by a god would have the power to destroy the horn.
Yervith's gonna sort of like get up and just take a closer look at the ashes of the horn, just to see what that's about.
Yeah, but as you head over, you can see that most of the horn, which previously had this very, it looked like an actual horn made of animal horn, just on a vast scale with sections of different multicolored scales across its surface. And as you sort of begin to sort of kick through the ashes, you can see there are still a couple of scales that haven't fully disintegrated. About the size of a human hand, a couple of black, a couple of green, a few white, one red sticking out of a little pile of ash. Some of the scales haven't fully dissolved. But as you watch, you can see that the same grayness is still spreading over their surface, slowly disrupting them and turning them to ash as well.
Are there any that I can sort of maybe pick up and separate from the ash to make sure that they don't? Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. The closest ones to you is probably that little group, a cluster of black scales dotting the ground. Yeah. As you bend down to pick one up, can I have you please roll me a Constitution saving throw as you touch one of the scales?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Natural one.
That's a
Wow.
Yervith, as you touch this scale, there is a jolt of power. You take 1d4 necrotic damage. Oh, it's only one necrotic damage. Never mind. You take one necrotic damage, and as you touch this, all of the scales simultaneously disintegrate instantly. And the dust just sort of drops. Everything, like the horn, the disintegration is suddenly, it finishes, and the horn just falls apart completely. There's nothing left of it now. And your hand feels this strange sort of burning, stinging sensation for a few seconds.
I kind of look at my hand like a little bit like, oh God, that was what I meant to do. Well, sorry about that. Couldn't really get much from it.
You watch, as you sort of look down at your hand, you watch as the dust begins to swirl around. There's sort of almost like a little eddy of dust underneath your hand begins to swirl. And then the dust begins to coalesce and rise up in these three distinct streams, forming a helix spiral around before coalescing in your hand. And in your hand, a black shape begins to form as the dust coalesces and condenses.
Guys.
At a game, I know what has happened.
Okay.
So I'm very. This is sweet. This is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Have you had a look at the campaign?
I had a look at D&D campaign.
Okay. Cool.
I'm going
Spoilers.
to look at Yervith though, and what have you done? No, that's exactly what
Yeah.
Orathator turns to you.
I'm just staring. I'm just more. I didn't say that. I'm staring in wonderment there.
Orathator turns to you. What have you done, elf?
I'm not sure. I touched the scales, and then suddenly they started doing this.
I walk up to you. Why? You were so against it last week. Why would you suddenly just touch it?
I was just curious. It's not every day you see dragon scales, and
You were horrified last week, Yervith.
I was.
Why? Why would you touch it?
Last week, you mean like a few seconds ago?
My bad. Yeah, retcon that to literally a few seconds ago. My bad. That is Jared coming through there.
Yeah.
I was just curious. I wanted to understand what this power was.
Ah, so a slight overreaction then before.
Perhaps.
I think as well, Yervith's horror was at the way the horn was being destroyed, because you weren't reacting until the black veins started to form across it for a few seconds, and then everything started disappearing behind the illusion. I think, and when it started turning, I think it's probably the actual event that horrified you more than the concept of the horn disintegrating. I think it was the manner in which it disintegrated. Or that's the read I got when you were talking.
No, that's 100%. That's exactly what I was going for.
It made it look pure though.
He did make it look pure and holy.
Which is probably a little bit more sus for them than it is for the dragon. I was only really trying to kill the dragon.
Yeah.
Because I want to keep him in our good books.
The ash begins
to all this shadow magic just coming out of my sword.
Yeah, I think that was a good call. The egg is now about half made. Yervith, you feel the weight of this thing as it begins sort of falling into your hand. It's very clear this thing is making a black dragon egg as it forms around your hand, coalescing and sort of rising up, takes on a larger and larger form, quickly raising its weight and this heft that's now coming into your hands. You have to sort of brace yourself to hold this thing in position. Orathator sort of steps up and goes, "What is this magic? What is this?"
I'm going to lean to Shana real quick and just go, "Oh, I think we have another one." Because I'm sort of nudging her.
Yeah, Yervith, a few more seconds, and then the weight of this thing fully drops into your hands. You are holding a large black dragon egg. The egg is easily sort of 80 centimeters tall and sort of 50 centimeters wide, 50 to 60 centimeters wide. It is heavy. It weighs about sort of like 14, 15 kilos just in your hands. And so there's this moment where you have to sort of like pull it a bit closer to hold it in position.
Yeah, I'm just like, jeez, it's heavy. What was
that? Sorry, Shana?
What is this?
Did you do that on purpose, Yervith?
Of course not. I had no idea this would happen.
Insight check. No, sorry, Clem. Yeah.
You can make an insight check.
No, I...
No, you can if you would like to.
Yeah, I might actually. I might just do it anyway, but I'm not actually too... 19. I guess what I'm trying to... Yeah, okay, basically what Shana said. Did you actually mean this at Yervith instead of... I want to see if he's, like, actually had some, like... If he actually had a plan here.
No. No.
That's fair.
There's your answer.
Admittedly, Jared himself was actually not very suspicious, but I just did the insight check because I had to live up to...
I mean, Yervith was curious in the scouts. Everything else that's happened since then is completely like, he has no idea.
I would add as well, Yervith looks shocked and surprised. And a bit sort of like, oh no, what's happening now?
Yeah.
This
is all escalated very quickly.
Orathator sort of like puts a hand on your shoulder. So currently Orathator, this white dragon, is in a humanoid form. I should say a half dragon form. Still white scales, this sort of brilliant white crest behind him. They're sort of falling down into these dreadlocks of skin. A large tail with a metal spike sort of attached to the outside of it, dressed in plate mail and these long flowing robes. He puts a very heavy clawed hand on your shoulder, Yervith, and looks you in the eyes, as if searching for something. What do you do?
I kind of look at him in the face and go, I'm not sure what happened here. Why do I have this? What's happening here? What is this power?
He puts his muzzle sort of very close to your face and breathes in deeply, sort of sniffing the air around you. You smell draconic. You did not so before.
Ooh.
It seems like some of the energy of the horn has entered you.
and now resides within you. I have not heard of such a thing happening. But then, I have not heard of powerful artifacts of Tiamat being destroyed before either. This is all new.
Yeah, it's new for me as well. I mean, I guess this is a good thing.
Perhaps. Your eyes. Something different about them.
Arathator,
Yes.
the color of the egg, does that potentially have any... Well, I don't really know how to say per se, but like, does the color of the egg, now that it's black, does that indicate it could be evil or anything like that?
Humans. Always so simple. Just because a dragon is black or red does not mean it is evil. All dragons, chromatic or metallic, are capable of great feats of good or evil. Just because Tiamat herself was queen of the chromatics for a time does not mean that all dragons follow her. Many of her new followers are metallic.
Yervith at the mention of the egg being evil, he's gonna have this weird like parental twinge. He's gonna be like, "It's not evil," and he's gonna kind of like move it away from Jin a little bit, like protectively.
I was going to ask you to roll something a bit later, but I'm not going to bother because you're role playing it by yourself. So you carry on. That's that's great.
I'm actually going to act a little bit like when he sort of does that. I'm just going to have like this very, very like, what's the word? Like annoyed look. Like, really? Do you just typecast me as evil then?
No, I'm just saying.
I didn't say that, but I will say that now. Did you, Yervith? Did you just typecast me as evil? Is that why you just shrunk away from him?
No. You said that this was evil, and I was saying it's not evil. It's just black, and black is not.
Just saying,
evil.
I destroyed the horn, and from its ashes, this has appeared. So, and I think for the most part, like, it was just, yeah, it's just interesting. Just wanted to make sure we cover all our eggs.
I appreciate the humor, but yes, this is all very new to me as well, and I will be trying to figure out what this all means. At least we have our...
You're going to be a dad, of course. By the way, the looks of this, are you actually ready for parenthood?
I've never really had to look after anything or anyone before. I've always looked out for myself. So,
well, that is
I'm not sure.
going to change.
Yeah.
Buckle up. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Mira sort of steps over at this point. Apologies, playing a PC character, so I'll do my best to try and keep in mind what Claire would say. And she goes, "Oh, no, it's very exciting. It's a whole new chapter for you, Yervith."
Thank you, Mira.
And she was actually pretty upbeat too. She was actually confused why people were actually getting like like a bit shocked with destroying the horn. So she would still be pretty upbeat right now. Lockie would probably be contemplating, I imagine. So
yeah,
he'd probably.
Did you want to know anything more about black dragons, Yervith?
Yeah, I would like that actually, Mira. If you know anything about them, that would be useful. I might need to know what it likes and what it doesn't like, and how I can better help it.
Yes, well, they're amphibious. They can breathe in air or water. They obviously have dark black scales and are tend to sort of live in warm, humid swamp areas and places like that.
Right. Warm swamps. Okay, but that's not where we are now, though. Oh,
no,
God, we should get out of here.
No, we're not anywhere near there. And they have a very acidic breath. They can breathe an acid-like breath.
Oh, acid.
Yes.
Sounds grisly.
I think you're going to have to sort of emulate the environment a little bit on the journey back. So good luck with that. I don't want to have it freeze up. Doesn't really sound like the environment for it.
That I'm sure Leonin will have something for me. We can figure something out.
No, right now you have to do something with the bag. put it in the bag, make it all nice and moist and warm and uncomfortable.
Ugh.
Wait, which bag?
Your bag. You're the parent now.
Do we have an extra one? I don't want it to get all over my arrows.
Unfortunately, this is parenthood. You're just gonna have to suck it up.
Look,
Admittedly, I'm sort of like, yeah. I think I'm just sort of having fun with this.
what would you know about parenthood anyway, Jin?
Oh wow.
You're holding something from us. You seem quite learned in the ways of parenthood.
Well, in my time at the Bard's College.
Oh, let's not go there. That's too much information for.
I was the hacky sack champion, so.
Oh no! Don't dirty that. That was a pure experience.
You
don't
just
dirty
say I had
this.
my pick at Bard's College.
Don't dirty this experience, mate.
No, I'll leave it there.
you haven't just going to like visibly cringe and go, okay, too much information.
At this point, Lockie's giant form wears off, and you watch as Lockie shrinks down again. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I appear to have lost my giant form. It walks over and has a bit of a look around. Should we get out of here? Oh, sorry, you go.
I'm sorry. Oh, I was just going to say, Lockie, is your internal temperature? What kind of temperature is that in a cavern that you've got going on there?
What in a cavern? And he lifts up his breastplate, and you just see gears and cogs and springs and drive shafts just spinning around at all points.
I've incorrectly assumed that you had some sort of storage in there. Never mind.
Oh no, that's in my trunk. And he turns around and pulls his buttock. No.
I look at Shana and then I look at Lockie and I go, no, I'm not putting this in here. That's what you're implying.
My own, my precious.
Not that I don't trust you, Lockie. It's just
stupid fat Lockie. We once it. It's our only precious.
Yeah. So sorry.
I will just
Smeagol ASMR there for you.
Oh no.
So
you should do a YouTube channel for that.
You should do Smeagol ASMR. Surely that wouldn't get any views. There's no way that would get any views.
Who knows?
I only wish the cats are fish that used to say.
They're taking their headphones off. That sounds like a vote of no confidence to me.
No,
Jeremy's into
Matt
it.
Takers.
Both of them did. It's just you, mate. You're the only one.
No, it's good.
Okay. Well, it's a niche for you then. I'll keep that in mind. I'll just do it for you.
It was horrifying, but yeah.
What's tortoise?
I think I have an idea for your egg. That keeps it in your custody. Quickly, could you hand me your bedroll and some rope, please?
Yeah. I place the egg down very carefully, make sure it's, and then
as you go to place it on the ice, Mira goes, "Oh, Lockie, sorry, yeah, but I don't think you should put it on the ice."
Oh, maybe someone could hold it while I get it out.
Oh, no. I'll hold it, Yervith.
There you go, Jin.
Oh wow, that's instant trust. I wasn't expecting that.
That's what I said. I just wanted to say.
I go to hand it. And I kind of look at him, and go.
Don't typecast me as evil, Yervith.
I'm not. I'm just.
Mira had her hands out to take it, and as you hand it to Jin, she just puts her hands down as a little sigh.
Whoever was close.
Oh, actually, no. If Mira was holding, if Mira's actually holding it in her hands, then I probably noticed that.
Oh yeah, I would have given it.
I actually offered.
Yeah.
Yeah. As Mira holds the egg, she goes, "Oh, I think it just shook a little bit."
What? Already? That's quick. Okay. And I put the bag down.
Hold on.
Get the
Dragon egg.
out.
Well, hold on. Dragon egg next to amulet. Is that entirely wise? Team amulet.
Yeah, we haven't really talked about that. We don't know what the true power of that amulet is yet, do we?
Mira sort of looks down at the amulet. I don't see any glowing. Normally that's a sign of something.
You don't feel anything? Anything different?
Just the shaking of the... Oh, it just did it again.
Oh God. I'll be 1 second, and I'll grab my bag and pull out the bedroll and the rope and go, okay, I've got it. What do I do now? We need to get it warm. We need to get it warm.
Yes. So, but quick question before we wrap it all up. Mira, do baby dragons move in the egg right before they're gonna hatch, or do they just continuously move throughout the...
Yeah, Mira, you know about this stuff.
I've not had too much to do with eggs and hatching before. I maybe, I'm not sure. It's just shook again. Yervith, can I give this back to you, please?
Yes, okay. And I I have my bedroll out and I kind of grab it in the bedroll and sort of throw it away.
The egg shakes. As it comes back into contact with you, it shakes really violently and a crack appears along the top.
Oh wow, it's already hatching.
Oh, it's happening.
Arathod sort of looks over and goes,
This is no dragon egg. This is something else. It looks like a drake egg, but it is hatching far quicker than should be expected.
Yervith, a large crack goes down the left side now. It's two massive cracks, and you hear from inside this scraping of talons on eggshell.
Okay, it's coming. Thank you, Arathod. This is definitely. I thought you would know more. I thought you would know about this stuff, but this is unusual. This is not normal.
This is a very large drake egg. Normally they are born the size of lizards. Large lizards, but lizards nonetheless. This is far larger than one of its kind would normally be. I sense magic at work here. Magic.
Okay. I sort of just brace myself a little bit, look down at the egg, and sort of be like, "Where are we at? What's happening? Is it broken yet? Do I see anything?"
Another violent shake racks through, and a section of the top cracks and falls outwards. And as you look inside, you see a black, scaly body, very serpent-like, with 4 limbs and a small head. 2 large horns coming out, one after the other, almost like on the top of the head, almost like a rhinoceros in a way. These 2 large horns coming out the top. And as you look down, this thing turns its head, this small drake, about the size of a dog, turns its head and looks up at you. And as your eyes meet, you feel this sudden connection, this sudden bond in your mind. Almost like you can feel what it's feeling. This sense of cold, uncertainty, not feeling sure. But seeing you brings it comfort.
Yeah, I sort of have the same feeling. I sort of look at it and I'm like, I'm equal parts shock, but there's also a lot of care and appreciation and almost like love, I would dare say, just sort of brimming to the surface. Something that maybe Yervith hasn't felt for a very long time. Suddenly, there's something else now in his life.
Yervith has encountered every emotion in this cabin.
In the space of
the space of 10 minutes.
Not yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
In the space of 10 minutes, Yervith has encountered so much emotion, everything.
Real roller coaster.
Yeah, Yervith's gonna look at this little drake and to say, "Hello there. How are you?" And then I wait. And I'll say how are you in
He's
draconic.
nervous. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, speak to it in draconic.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So probably you're doing this somewhat. Excuse me, next door dog. Probably you're doing this somewhat subconsciously.
Yeah.
And as you begin talking, you guys, do both of you speak Draconic, Shana and Jin? I think you both do, don't you?
What's that? We all speak Draconic. I think
everyone does. Only Yervith didn't, and now he does. Yervith, who you know for a fact previously hasn't been able to speak Draconic, suddenly slips into this very harsh, guttural tongue of Draconic.
Oh.
Almost effortlessly. He's halfway through sort of going, "Oh, how are you?" And just immediately switches almost instantly. And there's this pause where you guys are like, "Wait, what?" Because it takes a second for your brains to catch up, because you know the language, but it's not your primary language. So there's a moment where you're like, "What is he?" "Oh, it's Draconic." And then you have to consciously translate.
Yeah. Yeah, it sort of happens subconsciously. I just feel like it's the right thing to say to the...
Yervith.
Yes.
Have you ever been able to speak Draconic? You just spoke Draconic.
Really? What?
Yes. You just spoke Draconic to your little... You were speaking Common and then shifted to Draconic.
Oh.
I guess I don't know what literacies you would have had before, but this is a new one that has popped up, and it's quite perplexing considering our current state of affairs.
Yeah,
I haven't seen you ever demonstrate any skill in Draconic until now.
That is something new to me.
You've never actually learned Draconic?
No. I know quite a few languages, but not Draconic, no.
Huh.
Seems unusual to me.
That is just fascinating.
Yes.
The Drake continues to move about and cracks through the rest of the egg, sending shards of eggshell sort of scattering to the floor around your hands until you're holding the Drake in your arms. It sort of tries to crawl up your arms and onto your neck and shoulders. This thing weighs about sort of 20 kilos. It is fairly heavy.
Yeah. I like...
2 kilos.
I'm like, ow.
Sharp claws dig into your skin. Not enough to draw blood, but enough that you can feel them.
It's like having a cat.
That's
It's like having a cat, yeah. This thing is very persistent, and as it sort of wraps itself around your arm and neck, its tail sort of going underneath your hood, and it pulls itself into position, sort of like snuggled into your large cloak.
That's cute.
There is one question I have for you, and you can have a physical manifestation on your own body to signify your connection to this Drake. Now, we haven't talked about what that might be if you'd like one.
Ooh.
Would you like one? Could be a patch of scales, could be a tattoo, could be changing of your eye shape. So rather than having circular pupils, you might have slit pupils like a dragon, and your eye color changes to match the summoned Drake.
I think.
It's up to you.
I think eye color would be pretty cool.
Eye color, okay. And as sort of Yervith looks up and draws his eyes away from this thing, you watch as the last of the green fades from Yervith's eyes as it bleeds to this dark black, this grey black.
Cool. Yeah.
No, Yervith doesn't realize that.
No.
Yervith!
Can someone just hold up? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I actually have a mirror.
Oh, yeah.
I bring out my steel mirror and I literally show it to you. Yervith, your eyes. They've changed. Quite a nice shade, actually.
What?
Have a look. I show him the mirror. I show him his reflection.
Yervith, your eyes have taken on this very dark colour. It's almost impossible to kind of tell where your pupils begin and your iris ends. It's just all dark black. And as you look a bit closer and catch the reflection, you can see your pupils are now a slit shape like a dragon's. As you bring the mirror closer, the Drake begins sort of perking up and looking in the mirror, sort of making these little chirping noises and trying to sort of sniff the mirror. Trying to like sniff at the mirror.
Yeah, sort of reach a hand and just kind of like tap it, like just kind of like stroke it a little bit to like relax it.
Yeah, it nuzzles into your touch and relaxes.
Oh. I like hand the mirror back to Jen and go, this is all very unusual. I must be connected to it somehow now. In more ways than just emotionally, it seems physically as well.
Hey, just quickly. I've been told before that my eyes look very similar sometimes, like not exactly like yours, but similar. Does that make us like brothers or something? Wow, I've never had a brother. Huh. I look at Yervith.
I've never had a brother either, but I don't
clasp
know.
him on the shoulder. Well, welcome, brother.
I kind of look Jin up and down and go, I mean, we're friends and everything. I don't know if this makes sense.
Oh, it's okay. Don't
you're
worry
you're friend zoning yourself out of the brother zone. That's a good move.
No, don't worry. I know deep down what we are.
Oh my god. Look, there's a lot just happened, Jin. Yeah, sure. Thank you. I just sort of nod.
Perfect.
Yervith, I know you have already done so, but for those of you who are listening or watching and might not be aware of what's happened, Yervith, you may now change your character sheet over to Yervith Drakewarden,
nice.
subclass from the new Fizzband's Treasury of Dragons.
Yay!
As your Gloomstalker levels are replaced with a Drakewarden.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
So you go from fifth level Gloomstalker, I believe, to 5th level Drakewarden. Okay, yep. So you've had a bit of a read through what that gives you. It gives you the Drake Companion, who you now have. And you're only 2 levels off to the Bond of Fang and Scale, which is when your Drake gets a bit bigger and gets wings.
I have decided to keep rogue levels just because of Yervith being the character that he is.
Yeah,
I think it works relatively well. So we'll
absolutely
keep it now.
No,
Fair
love
enough.
it.
Seeing a full Drakewarden there would have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you were
full,
if you were full Drakewarden, oh no, 11th level, so 7th and 11th, the next fun things that happen. So you've still got them to look forward to, and you'll probably make it to 11th level Drakewarden because you're only 4 level rogue, right?
Yeah.
Yep, you'll make it to 11th level. If you just take Drake levels after this, Ranger levels after this, you'll make it to 11th level before the end of the campaign. Actually, in time for the final Tiamat showdown, potentially.
Oh shit!
Look, let's see how you guys go. It might not even be Tiamat. Depends on what you guys do with this ritual. You've really made some interesting decisions have happened. So it's gonna be interesting to see what goes on there. What do you know what you're talking about? Orathator sort of looks you up and down, Yervith, and looks at this Drake companion and sort of leans a little bit closer. The Drake kind of hisses at him and pulls a bit tighter around your neck, claws digging in on your shoulder. He sort of steps back and goes,
Maybe I have heard of something like this before. Long ago. Before the rise of the gods, before the betrayal, before Tiamat was sealed away. There were stories of Dragonborns who bonded, spirits of drakes, dragons, and took on draconic essence themselves. But such power has been gone from the world for a very long time. I wonder if perhaps you've awakened this again.
Perhaps. That seems to be likely.
Consequences of destroying the horn may be more far-reaching than we thought. Is this just isolated to you? Or is this going to happen to others as well?
Perhaps this future that we want is becoming closer than we realized. We will need all the help that we can get in the coming days.
Whether or not dragons and men forming bonds again is good or evil remains to be seen. As long as dragons are on top and bow down before no other race, then I am satisfied.
I mean, I'm seeing ours as more of a equal sort of arrangement with him. And I sort of like pat him a little bit.
Yeah, really, it nuzzles into your hand once again and does a playful nip of your finger.
Very well. Shall we leave these ice caves? You said you had a ship. I'd be very curious to see such a thing.
How long have you been down here for?
Many
How much
months.
of the world?
I leave only to feed.
I see. Well then, there's a lot of the world for you to see. Maybe things have changed since you were last out on the surface. I mean, beyond the confines of this icy realm. I sort of gestured to the wider area that we're in.
If I see ice and snow again, it will be rather too soon.
Indeed.
Come. And he holds up his hand and raises it, and the ice platform that you're on begins propelling you up into the air. You watch as the cavern above opens up as he essentially is doing a much more powered up version of Shapewater.
Wow.
The final form of Shapewater. And he begins sort of cracking the ice above, and you emerge sort of blinking, stepping into the sunlight, a blizzard swirling around you, the biting cold pulling into you. He sort of pauses a second and then looks back and notices you all sort of shivering in discomfort, clinging close, the tiny drake letting out a cry of alarm as it is suddenly exposed to the icy cold.
Ah, I see.
And with that, he sort of concentrates, and you watch as energy begins sort of flicking between these large draconic fingers. And you watch as the weather begins to lighten. And as he opens his eyes, this sort of brilliant white energy shining through them. The tempest subsides, the blizzard dies down until only gentle snow falls around you. The biting wind removed. As he casts Control Weather.
Whoa.
Nice.
That's cool. I just look at him and just sort of nod and go, "Thank you. That is appreciated."
Can't have this little one perishing in the cold just yet.
I sort of pat him a little bit. No,
Yeah,
we can't.
it's like pulling itself into under your cloak as much as it can, trying to get away from the snow.
I crank the Lockie's device a little bit just to try and generate a little bit more heat.
Oh yeah. As it senses the warmth coming from this device, it begins crawling down your back under your cloak, trying to get closer to the device until it's like wrapped around underneath your cloak inside your shirt. So it looks like you've got this massive beer belly that's just the drake, like hugging inside your tunic, clinging to the side of this device, emanating heat.
Amazing.
As it shifts, its sharp scales sort of do tiny paper cuts along the inside of your stomach. Not deep enough to be painful, but enough that you're like, oh yes, yep, you're right there.
On his tunic, on the outside, I'm going to cast Prestidigitation to warm it.
Oh, nice.
So gives him a little more comfort.
A tiny claw slices through and its head pokes out to see what's going on as it senses magic.
I sort of just look and go, shush, it's okay. It's okay, I'm just looking after my nephew, it's okay. Brothers and all, you know.
The Drake looks up at you, Yervith, and you get a sense of confusion.
I look down at it and nod, and I'm like, yes, I'm confused as well. We'll get to the bottom of things, though. We'll figure it out.
And with that, I'm assuming you guys head back across the snow towards the...
I will,
Yes.
as we're walking back, I will just sort of walk next to Lockie for a little bit.
Yes.
I sort of approach him a little bit more coyly, like a little bit more like apprehensively.
Hello there.
Lockie, how are you?
Processing.
Yeah.
So, yes, down in the cavern, it got a little tense between us. How are we with that?
You do things that you think are right, but I'm not sure you've thought through all the consequences before you do them. It's like you sometimes act on instinct or another's instruction. That concerns me. There is an unknown variable I cannot account for.
I think that overall, me and you, Lockie, we're polar opposites. I go on instinct, and you go on, I guess, what's being
Logic.
prepared and
Yes.
logic and other such things. But I go off instinct, and I guess they both have their merits. Sometimes your way of doing things might not ever get results, where mine will definitely get results. Admittedly, a little bit more. Could have a little bit more consequences, but I get results. That is why I've been part of the Harpers for so long.
I'm worried you
That
do
is
not
why
ask
I've
yourself the
excelled.
question whether the results are better than the outcome, whether the disease is better than the cure.
Well, tell me, Lockie, what would you have done? Just stood there and watched and done nothing?
Used my strength to bring the horn with us.
And then what? Let it fall in the hands of the other enemies?
No. But if we had the horn, we could have discussed other options. Now the horn is gone, and there are no more options. One of
Well,
those seems more
everyone-
logical.
Everyone decided to destroy it.
I was not sure we were rushing into things too quickly.
I know it's a bit hard, obviously not having Michael here, so...
I hope, Michael, if you're listening back to this, I hope I'm doing what you asked.
I think it's pretty good.
Thank you. Trying my best. I mean, as a DM, it's helpful to try and be able to think through what your characters would do, because then it means that I can add hooks and things like that I know will interest you. So this is good because it means I get to practice that more and more and get into your character's psychology more and more, which I love doing.
But I'm going to say to him, well, if you had any worries, why did you just stand there and do nothing while the rest of us all decided to destroy the horn and then blame purely me, when Mira was more than into the idea of it, and Arathator and Shana, like, they were all on board.
Yes, Mira, who is currently under the influence of Tiamat, Arathator, who has been working for the cult for a number of years, and Shana, who potentially is working for a dark god. These sound like objective points of view.
How do you find that out?
The thing is, Lockie, you did nothing.
I tried to cast a spell, and I was prevented.
When we were discussing it, why didn't you perk up and say something? Why did you just stand there?
I was processing, trying to come up with a better alternative.
That's the issue, though, isn't it? You move too slow. You do definitely think everything through, and you might eventually find the right outcome, but sometimes you need to just follow your instincts.
But if we still had the horn, the option to destroy it would always be there, along with other alternatives we had not yet thought of. You have made a decision, and now we are locked into this course of action. This cannot be undone. Do you know the consequences of your actions? All of them? Any of them?
Of course not. But do you as well? There are unforeseen things that...
consequences.
Oh, Lockie. You can't live in fear. You must strive forth.
I don't live in fear.
On every challenge.
The consequences I have thought of, I fear.
Like?
This effect to Yervith, for one. Do we know the consequences of this?
I do not.
I would like to add that I do not either.
As Yervith just like pauses a second, turns around hearing his name.
yeah. I imagine I just turn around, I'm like, hello.
This may not be the blessing it seems, Yervith. We have no idea what effect this will be.
Well, I do it this way.
Yes.
Sorry, Yervith. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Bro.
All I was going to say is that bro. I think overall, there might not be any consequences there. You know, we could be, everything could just be hunky dory.
I think it's very clear there have been consequences.
Such?
Your tattoo.
Yes.
What is that? He would ask.
At a game, I don't want to reveal too much without Michael and Claire being here.
If this is something, so my question was,
big.
Yeah. So my question is, is Jin thinking of actually coming? Not clean. Is Jin thinking of actually kind of volunteering some information? Even 10%, and I'll pause this conversation and we'll continue it back at the ship. I'll have something interrupted.
I think I was gonna say Yervith would probably be leading up to that as well. Like after the initial shock of having a Drake hatch, he'd be like, I've been meaning to ask you, what is with that? And that would be, yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to think what we've actually talked about in the party before.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of episodes.
So you've mentioned.
Have I actually told them that the patron?
You've said you have a patron. You've said that you when you were going through the Black Hand, going through the Assassin's Guild, there was an entity that chose the targets and chose the victims, and you were what did you specifically say? You didn't say you were bound to the entity, but you said that you had unfinished business with it.
Okay.
What was that, Ali? Say that out loud. That's good.
Can Shana think loudly to herself / to Varys? Hey dude. I'm assuming that you're watching this. How much can we share without pissing you off?
You hear nothing. There is no response. Silence meets you.
Not sure if that means that I can't share anything, or I can say everything because he said that nothing would piss him off, and I don't know how to interpret this.
Or is not there at all.
Does he silence mean don't say anything, or does he silence mean say everything?
There is no response. You feel no twisting of power. You hear no voice. There is no response at all.
Can you just do a quick and super subtle just Eldritch Blast, just summon one to her palm to see if she's he isn't gone, is he?
So a subtle Eldritch Blast. As you hold out your hand, a beam of light shoots up into the air 120 feet. As you summon an Eldritch Blast.
I think everyone would be a bit taken aback by that.
Arathor sort of pauses and turns and goes, "Was that some beacon? Is this a trap? What is this?"
We're just as genuinely confused.
What did you say, Shana?
Shana, is something okay?
For some odd reason, I was...
We have our
Is there an
interruption.
enemy?
Perfect.
Is there an enemy flying above us? Should we be
I do
prepared for
believe
battle?
Is it the Rock? I knew it was the Rock.
Oh, the rock.
A seagull,
Damn rock.
a scorched seagull smashes into the ice next to you.
Ah!
I thought the drake was hungry.
Ah!
Mira's gonna insight. Mira's gonna insight check that.
Yeah.
That's so fair.
Can I roll?
You can roll deception. That's fine. I'll roll an insight check for Mira. Mira would insight check that. Absolutely. Mira insight checks everything like that. Alright, let me do an insight check.
Oh, shoot.
Oh no. Oh, that's very thoughtful of you, Shana.
Well, I mean, it literally hasn't eaten yet.
Yes, that is quite thoughtful of you.
Yervith, the drake sort of its head poking out of this cut in your tunic sort of looks at the seagull. You don't get any sense of hunger from it at all.
Oh. I kind of look down at the seagull, look up at Shana and go, thank you, but I don't think the little one is hungry just yet. I appreciate the thought, though.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's just an idea that just came to me randomly, and
That was quite a shot. Wow.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've taken some pretty good shots in my time, but I don't even think you were looking at it. You just shot it in the air.
Yeah, but
I can fire around corners as well. I don't have to be looking at it. It just has to be within range of me. I can guide it wherever I wish.
Wait, do you not have to? Is it not a target you see within range for Eldritch Blast?
I thought you had to see them.
It has to be a target you can see within range.
No,
surely.
it's a target within range.
What?
Oh no.
Yeah.
A target
Also,
within range. Make a ranged spell
It's
attack.
a beam of crackling energy, which means it doesn't have to be in a straight line.
Wait, but do you still have to see them, though?
Nah. Within
What?
range. And you can move it like you want. It is essentially the arrow from...
Yeah, as long as you're aware of it. As long as you're aware of it,
remember
you're
that.
fine.
I always
Okay.
thought it was like you just shoot a beam and you hit something that you see.
So one of the
crackling energy is technically invisible as well. So it is a invisible, movable, within range.
No, but it's not
non-line
okay.
of sight.
Okay. Yeah, so it's one of those things where slightly off topic only a little bit, but one of the big things that is in the D&D meta is you could give away your soul to a patron, serve them in dark servitude and gain the best cantrip in the game, or you could buy a heavy crossbow. But actually, if you don't have to see the target and it can turn and it's not in a straight line, then actually I think the soul's a very fair price.
That's pretty broken for a cantrip, man. That's crazy. I mean, I knew Eldritch Blast is obviously very good.
Action.
Yeah, I know it's very good, but
it's why when DMs don't take advantage of the patron connection with warlocks that you're actually really kind of opening things up for abuse, because there has to be some downsides to this. The downside to this incredible power is you're someone's bitch. Like, this is an exchange for your service. You are a slave to this power, depending on how you play the warlock aspect of things. But yeah, that's nuts. I had no idea it was that. That's crazy. I've used Eldritch Blast many times as a warlock, and I've never known that. Nice, very nice, good reference to all that in there. Ultimate power. Good reference to Aladdin. So that's good. No, that was that Eldritch Blast was a good distraction from that conversation with Lockie and Jin. So we'll sort of we'll consider that one fairly interrupted. At this point, as you guys are sort of walking around, you see the airship begin to take off in the distance. As you cross the section of ice, you see the airship begin to take off as if it's sort of heading towards this direction, and then a cry from the crow's nest of "Land ahoy!" I see them. As you see Corvin up in the top crow's nest, the Kenku, calling out. And from the deck of the ship, Leosin sort of goes, "Oh, I assume something was wrong. Right, sorry, let me just power down the engines." And the airship sort of drops back into place, sending a spray of water and a wave, creating a sort of a ripple effect across the sea ice towards you. Orathator looks and goes,
"This thing is tiny. I thought you said you had a ship."
I mean, this is an airship. It flies. It can't be too heavy, otherwise it won't go through the air.
Fine. I will stay in my humanoid form then, my half-dragon form.
Yes, that might be good. We're not used to carrying dragons on the ship.
Can imagine.
Mira sort of comes up the gangway and goes, how's Barry? Is he okay? Is Barry doing all right? Yervith, you sort of see, sort of crouching behind a section of barrels, because Mira and Lockie obviously haven't seen Barry since they went away. Crouching behind a series of barrels, focusing on some magic, is Barry, the sort of small dark-haired child. And you can see that he's summoning sort of very small illusionary lights, and he's sort of dancing them around in the air, casting dancing lights, creating sort of like illusionary lights and moving them around, and goes, I've been practicing like you said, Mira. I can do this one now. And you watch, she sort of conjures the lights. Oh, that's wonderful. Come downstairs and show me what you've been up to. And Mira sort of rushes downstairs with Barry and disappears from view. Leosin looks as she runs past and goes, "Yes, I suppose a report was too much to ask for. Hello, who's this? I see you found another half-dragon." Orathator sort of stands tall.
"I am Orathator, white dragon of the lost flame, inhabitor of the endless sea ice, first to call Tiamat's name in the dark." "Right, well that's, yes. Very nice to meet you. I'm Leosin." And he looks at you guys, like panic in his eyes.
I give him a thumbs up.
Would you like a seat?
"A seat?
Yes, would you like to sit down?"
I will stand at the prow of the ship and keep watch."
"Yes, that sounds good too. Great. Fantastic. There's a crow's nest too." And Orathator just turns and walks away. "Yes, okay. Who the fuck's that?"
So that's a white dragon that we made friends with.
"Yes, I got that."
Also, I'm a dad. And then this little Drake pops out.
Yeah, popping out from your stomach like a chest burster in your tunic. Wow. Sorry, that thing came out of you?
No.
That's an egg.
He has an egg.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry, that makes more sense.
No, sorry, I should have been more specific with the particulars. It's been a very strange journey, as you can see.
Yes. What happened? Are you okay?
Oh, perfect. I think we're all perfectly fine. So I look at Jin and go, "Jin here. We went into the ice caves, and we battled some trolls, and killed some kobolds. And then we got to the Drakhorn, and then Jin stabbed it with a sword.
Yes.
Yeah.
Destroyed it.
So where's...
The party decided that, and
Well,
we need our new friend over there.
it wasn't completely unanimous, but yes.
Not precisely, but for the most part, it was.
Jin made the
Jin's
decision.
just like, I rounded up.
He yeah. He made the decision.
Right.
for us.
So Horn's destroyed. I thought the plan was to recover it if we could.
Well, yes, but I think that is a view shared by Lockie. But things happened. Decisions
Okay.
were made.
Yep. Okay. And you were able to destroy it. That's fantastic. Great. Okay, so we know that there won't be any more dragons summoned to the side, at least through that. Fantastic. And the cultists, they're wiped out, recovered treasure.
Well, didn't really see
No,
any
I'm guessing not, as he
cultists
looks
down
over at the white dragon. And
Yeah.
I'm guessing he still has all his treasure.
We tried to procure some treasure, but to keep our friend over there appeased, we couldn't really ransack his hoard.
Jin was stealing his gold. So that was part of the stipulation of him coming with us, that we had to give it back. Well, Jin had to give it back.
Okay. And do we owe him anything else as well, or like what's the plan? Is he still with the cult? Does he think? Do I have to work out some deception? Is he still?
He's hedging his bets on Mira because he thinks that Mira is a better candidate than Tiamat. With the whole, the world
A
thing.
better candidate for what? What?
I think he was also quite swayed by the fact that Mira has some powerful dragon friends.
Yes.
Okay.
In I think Palin.
Right. Okay.
And
I mean,
also-
this kind of matches up with reports from other harpers that the dragons who are working with the cult do so somewhat reluctantly. They're not keen on serving Severin or any of the other cultists. They're more about means to an end, right? Like get Tiamat free. But I mean, this is huge. If you've convinced him that he should be following Mira rather than Tiamat, I mean, it's not every day you can trick a dragon. That's impressive.
We're not exactly sure
We're not-
on that just yet.
We're not tricking anyone here. Let's just be clear.
Okay.
Just, he's right there. Just keep your voice down.
But no,
Sorry.
sort of legitimately interested in following Mira was my take of things.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, I mean, she seems to exhibit some sort of leadership. That's why I follow her.
Okay.
Still here.
Okay. So, while you were gone, I did receive a message from Oxenfurt. We've been summoned back to the guild urgently. I think the plan is to meet up and go through our options before we head on, unless, of course, there's something more urgent that you need to get to. Is there some? Have we been able to get any information from this white dragon or Rathator?
We haven't really had the luxury to discuss specifics.
Okay, so how would you feel about a bit of a debrief now then? See if we can learn what he knows, and maybe I can communicate some things back to Oxenfurt. We can figure out where we're going next.
In a more comfortable setting, that would be good. I think that's...
I would highly recommend we have Mira there.
Yes.
Okay.
I think he has definitely... After seeing what I was able to accomplish and having Yervith here with that egg, I think he has at least acknowledged some of our powers, but he's definitely more... it was always Mira that piqued his interest the most.
It was in his own words. He said that Mira was an arbiter of Tiamat. So we still don't fully know what that connection is and what it may...
An arbiter of Tiamat or an avatar?
Oh, an avatar. That's the word. Sorry. Words.
Fuck.
Words are not my strong suit. But yes, that is what he used.
Is that true?
Yes, he did say that.
Oh no, but is that true about Mira? Is she an avatar of Tiamat?
I don't have any idea.
She seems to have accepted her position in this.
She has been showing a lot more signs. She's always been using fire and ice magic, but we've been seeing her use other things. I think she did some acid damage or breath before.
Oh yeah.
Some effect took hold in her spell.
She had a green scale as well.
She's changing.
Okay. Right. This is a lot to process.
There's a lot that happened.
Is that what happened to Lockie? And you see Lockie has just stopped dead, half sort of stepping onto the gangway, and has just stopped dead.
What?
And he hasn't moved for a couple of minutes. He was behind you. He hasn't moved for a few minutes while we've been talking.
No, we should definitely help
he's
him.
all right.
Yeah, Lockie, and I like go over to Lockie. You okay? You okay in there, buddy?
You hear the sound of tick, 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 as if two gears are grinding against one another and getting stuck.
I think he's broken. Oh God.
Could we get that the engineer up here, please?
Oh, yes. I'll see if I can find. I think Arvel's downstairs somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I'll be right back. And the person sort of scurries downstairs. A few minutes later, he comes back up again. Yes, I have him here. What has happened to Lockie? Let me see. And this large Leonin form, this large sort of lion-like bipedal humanoid, sort of pushes through. You know, as Arvel pushes through and begins sort of examining Lockie. Yes, something seems to have happened with one of his gears. Give me a moment. And he picks Lockie up over one shoulder. It's very heavy, and begins like carting him downstairs, sort of struggling under the weight of Lockie, disappearing below deck.
Do you need a hand there? Oh.
No, I'm fine. I've got this.
All right.
Insight check.
Okay.
No, it does seem like he has got
alright.
this.
Does he start clinking, clattering down?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just hear him like fall down the stairs.
Dung, 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 dung.
Yeah. Well, in that case, then, would it be best if we maybe start our journey towards Drifthaven? We can get some supplies. I know we're running a little bit low on food and water, and if we have to do a long trip back to Oxenfurt, it might be best if we're fully supplied and stocked.
How long is the journey back to Oxenfurt?
It's going to be about a week and a half.
Well, definitely go to Drifthaven first, and from there we can go to Oxenfurt. I have not been there for a very long time.
No.
Yes, right. You haven't seen the Night Hall, have you? In fact, none of you have seen the Night Hall.
I've seen it from a distance, but I've never actually been in the manor.
I haven't been to Oxenfurt since I left for the jungles.
Oh,
are you actually a native of Oxenfurt, Yervith?
Well, I wouldn't say native. I did spend some time there. I sort of scratched my head a little bit, like sort of hazy on the details. But
was that the Oh no, that's. Oh.
I was there for work.
Nasty business.
Yes, I was there for work. I got with the expedition and we set out from Oxenfurt to the Noonian jungles. Yes. Yeah.
I meant to ask this, but I forgot last time. Did you need me to send a message to the Oxenfurt Historical Society to let them know that you're alive?
Oh, of course. Yes, please. I thought we'd already said that.
Maybe we had done that. I don't remember if we did it or not. They might be a bit of a shock.
Yes. Please let them know.
No, we sent a letter. No, I remember. You sent a letter in Drifthaven.
Good.
I remember with the Aarakocra. Yes, that's right. You told me about this. You sent a message with the Aarakocra Guild. Yes.
Yep.
Okay, great. Good. I just, probably the thought... I mean, I imagine they're probably going to try and send, like, another group to recover and find out what happened to the previous group unless you tell them you're alive.
God,
so
no.
Maybe... Yeah, it's probably best that... Yes. Yep. I'm thinking...
We probably should make way for Oxenfurt.
Well, if you've sent a letter, that's okay, then they know you're alive, and I'm sure you would have outlined the danger of the Noonian jungles very clearly in your letter.
Oh, yes. Yes, I would have definitely outlined that. No, in fact, I did.
Yeah, but it just sort of flashes back, and the section of the letter is just in all caps, which is "Do not go here."
Yeah.
Death awaits in the Noonian jungle.
Yeah.
And like a drawing of a skull, just to like highlight it even more. Yes, right. Well, I'll set course for Drifthaven. It'll only be a couple of hours. We're not too far away.
Leosin, I really would like to have a word about our finances. I haven't really gotten into that, but I wouldn't mind a little chat.
Yes, absolutely. Just you and I, or?
Whoever wants to join, I have no problem.
He sort of looks around. No one's on deck. He looks at the captain's cabin behind him and goes, "Do you want to just step into my office and we can have a chat about that?"
Yes, let's just go. I just want to see how things are progressing.
Well,
yeah.
You two do that. I'm going to have some time with the new one. Then I think.
The joys of
before you go
parenthood.
off, I do need to ask you a very serious question, and it is just a yes or no answer. Have you made any deals with any beings in the recent history?
Beings? What beings?
Magical creatures do not suddenly summon themselves out of the air, out of dusty grey X-horn parts, turn themselves into a dragon egg, turn that self into a drake that then hatches within moments of being created.
I mean,
and
that
your
seems-
eyes are black.
Well,
I will say this in Yervith's defense. Once the horn was destroyed, who knows what powers were in that horn and suddenly unleashed upon the world, aka my wings.
I'm sorry, what?
I have the ability to fly. Isn't that grand?
Wow.
I might quickly show off my wings. I'm not going to use a charge, Owen. But I might show off my wings.
As you go to try and do it, the magic doesn't summon.
I have to do a charge.
Ooh.
I don't really want to use a charge right now.
You don't have one. So when you first summoned them in the caverns by accident, that was the first charge. You got to go back to sleep again, and you've got to have it's got to be a new day before you can summon them again. Get once per day.
Okay. I've
updated your umbral blade with the description. Is it all there? Can you see the new?
Yeah, I can see the wings of shadows.
Cool,
I didn't know that.
Yep. Spoilers on the name.
So just quickly.
Yeah.
So the charges I actually have.
Yes.
That's the first two abilities.
Yes. So the wings are a separate thing. They're once per day.
Yep. Okay. I just thought all the charges. Yep. That makes sense. It's good I don't just abuse it.
It's its own separate thing.
Perfect.
Right. Wow. Shana, anything new with you?
I'm looking forward to delivering the head, but, other than that,
I'm sorry,
fighting
what?
fit.
I'm sorry, what?
The head that I brought back last trip, and everyone was so shocked about it. Shana brought back a head!
Who are you delivering that to again? What's the story there?
The very nice werewolf fellow in the pub. Didn't I? Oh, you weren't there for that. Wild story. But
It was great.
so there's this bloke and very lovely guy that works at the pub. And poor dude, cursed to be a werewolf. And so, you get chatting as you do about curses on appearance. And, he ends up saying that he was cursed to look this way by none other than our sea hag. And so I, as a joke, when I was leaving the pub, I said, next time I see you, I'll bring you her head. And ha 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 ha. Well,
I have a very neutral look. I have a very neutral look on my face as I'm just like, this is just okay, Shana.
Personally,
Let her have her fun.
if someone brought me a human head for all intents and purposes, the head of a hag, I probably would call the watch.
It's the hag that cursed you to be a wolf in the first place? And tries to eat your daughter? Come on.
Leave that one with me. I'll get back to you on that. That's a tricky one.
Maybe I can give it to him in a bag.
Shana, that's dripping on the deck.
It's in a
No,
box of
it's in a
ice.
barrel. It's in a box on ice. She got a bucket and filled it with ice. No. It's in a bucket of ice.
Damn.
She was very explicit with those instructions.
Damn,
last session.
I really wanted
Way
to just
too
drip
explicit.
Off.
Okay, well, on that note,
Finances,
Leos
yes.
and yes, let's have a quick chat.
Yervith just starts backing away as he hears them talking about math. He's like, okay, so Shana and Jin. We'll get to you in a minute, Yervith. Don't worry.
Yes, right. Finances, yes.
Oh, Shana coming with us as well? She can.
I think Shana's still there. Did you want to hang out for finances or do something else? Up to you. It's up to you. This is Dungeons and Dragons. If you want to talk about money, you can talk about money. If you want to go do something else, you can go do whatever you want. We're playing Dungeons and Dragons, apparently.
Actually, yeah, she's gonna go off again, like to a quiet spot without looming dragons or little drakes, and she's gonna try and get in contact with Varys.
Okay.
And like
Cool.
hey.
All right. We will get to you in a minute too. Then. Yeah, that's it. Hey, girl. Okay.
This is
So.
gonna be a pretty boring conversation, really. We'll keep it pretty quick.
All right, I'm ready. Jin. I'm so excited you're finally ready to talk about the finances.
I have my arms sort of holding like this. My hands are like sort of interlinked.
Oh, this is great. I've been trying to talk to Azure about this for months, and he just keeps ignoring me. I'm ready to talk about the finances.
So, we aren't bringing in any treasure.
No.
That is something I've noticed. How are we keeping things afloat?
Yeah, we're in dire situations. We owe quite a bit of gold on this airship. I'm not sure what we're going to do.
So, the money we have given you has gone all to the airship. We don't have any...
We've got a little bit of a background to help fund, like, fuel, food, drink. Obviously, we've hired Casey and Boulder, and they've been doing some work as well, and they needed a cart, so we bought a cart. And
that's all well and good, but we're losing money, so we decided to hire more people.
Yes, because adventurers bring in money.
Okay.
You have to spend money to make money.
That's true, but do we have the money to spend?
I'm gonna put that as a tentative maybe.
How much money do I have left in my bag of holding? I do have it written down. We still have 20,000 SP left. I think I'm gonna have to give it all. Do
you say that out loud?
No, this is me talking about it.
Cool.
In my head, at a game. I think we're gonna have to give him, like, that's a party fund for us, but I think we have to give him the 2,000 gold or the 20,000 CP. I don't think we can hold on to that.
So is it 20,000 SP or CP? I think it's 20,000 silver pieces.
SP.
Yeah, silver pieces. I was going to say cool. So 2,000 gold.
Converted.
200 platinum.
I don't know.
200,000 copper. You just give it to him in copper.
I think we gave the platinum away.
God.
Yes.
I think we've only got the SP left.
That's correct.
Okay.
Worst.
Oh,
yes.
Sorry. No, you go back.
No, I was gonna say worst retail customer ever. Just 2,000 copper pieces on the table. I'm gonna count it out.
No, 200,000. 200,000 copper pieces.
200,000.
It's so much worse.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
I'm ready. My house deposit is complete. You get a truck to just dump it on the lawn.
So
yes.
How much do we owe on this bad boy? As I sort of gesture to the ship.
So here's the thing. Azure got a bit excited when purchasing this. We didn't quite have the money liquid. So he took out a loan.
Okay. I did give you guys a substantial amount of money.
Yes, and that did pay off. That did pay off the bulk of the loan.
How much is left?
Yes, it's not too much. It's only another 12,000 gold that we owe left on the airship.
How much did we buy this for?
It was about 60,000 gold pieces.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. So
But the good news is I don't have to pay birthing fees. We're covered for that.
Have you been visited by anybody potentially chasing down the money we owe?
Griswold was, and he said he dealt with it. And I'm really scared as to what that might have entailed.
I can't wait to find out what that. Oh, I haven't actually really met this Griswold. I can't wait to meet him.
His exact words were, "Some greasy slimeball came asking for money, and I dealt with it."
So you
doesn't make me feel great.
How do you think he dealt with it?
Probably with an explosion of some sorts.
Wait, is that the guy who can teleport? And
yes, that's him.
Do you think he teleported him in sort of in the middle of nowhere?
I hadn't before. Now that's occurring to me.
No,
he did say he was hoping the grease would dry from his hair. I'm a bit concerned now what that might have meant.
That is... Well, look.
Perhaps we should send someone to the Balmian deserts, try and locate if there's a tax collector or a debt collector just alone.
There's just a skeleton when we find it.
With a greasy toupee.
Yes. It's so greasy, it's the only thing that actually survived.
Yeah.
Or at least, sustained.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking that. I am now thinking that's what's happened.
Well, I'm going to give you 2,000 gold.
Thank you.
And that should tide us over.
And we really need to start stealing more of gold from the cult. If you could take some money from the cult, that'd be great.
I was going to do that, but I mean, like, everyone made friends with the dragon, and then
no, that's fair. I think
he basically like covered me in his ice breath. I took it in stride, but it did hurt a little bit.
Okay. No, it sounds like you made the right decision.
Look, we have a powerful ally, so
absolutely,
that's worth its weight in gold more than
absolutely. Any dragon fighting on our side and not on the cult side is amazing. Look, to be honest, any dragon not fighting on the cult side, I'll take. That's a bonus.
Do we have any gold that we could potentially invest in property and start getting up some real estate and wealth that way?
If you can get me some gold. Have you seen house prices at the moment, Jin? It's crazy.
It's like handing him gold. He's like, do you have any gold?
It's like Oblivion NPC dialogue. It's like fucking. So, do you have any gold for me? I just gave you all I had. Do you have any gold for me?
Well,
yeah. Oh, it's fucking Baggins from Arceus. I can teach you to pack your bag more tightly if you just give me another 200,000 gold. Yes.
Life and death, you know.
Yeah.
Take this.
Very coercive control.
This should tide us over.
Okay.
We will need to pay the rest off promptly, and then we can start finally getting profit in some things. We have a long way to go, and yes, the
good news is the business, the blacksmithing business is up and running, and Griswold assures me that he'll be able to supply some arcanic supplies and items any day now. Apparently some of his inventions, this camera obscura he's been working on, apparently that's close to being finished, and he says that'll make a killing. I'm worried that he means a literal killing, though. Yeah.
He could. He very
the
well
prototype
might. I have not
me.
met him, but I just cannot wait. I am just shaking anticipation to meet Griswold. He sounds like such a fascinating individual.
Yes.
I'm just trying to look at my inventory.
Can we just have Yervith and Shana's quick conversation in the background here because it's too funny. Please read out what you've just typed for the podcast listeners. Starting with Lyra Shana's negative gearing comment.
The property prices are so expensive because it's that negative gearing, making the property prices go up.
And then I said, gonna buy in the up and coming suburb of Oxenford and wait for the gentrification.
Yep, and then
we can buy the suburb next to Oxenford and then make them
there it is. There it is. Yep. There it is. Amazing. You can both have inspiration for that. That's fucking hilarious.
Yay!
Jin, as you hand over the 2,000 gold pieces, Leosin sort of pauses a bit, sort of joking aside. Seriously, thank you. This is fantastic. And I mean, if we are able to collect any more gold, perhaps we can wait to pay off this debt a little bit longer, and instead invest the money. But the business should be doing well. I hear the blacksmithing should be taking off. Hal's Under the Earth said that she was making progress with the blacksmith. Oh, sorry, you don't know who that is. We have a Tabaxi blacksmith.
I haven't met any of these.
No, that's okay. We have a Tabaxi blacksmith. She makes items.
Perfect.
Very, very gifted blacksmith. If any of you are looking to get weapons or armor upgraded, she'd be the one to do it.
Huh. I will have a word with her. Between her and Griswold, the possibilities sound endless, actually.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
We're going to need everything as well, considering where we're going to be. It's an uphill battle moving forward.
Indeed it is.
Things are only getting more dire.
I get that sense. I feel storm clouds on the horizon.
Now, Leosin, I have a few spell scrolls I might unload.
Okay.
I have a Dimension Door spell scroll, and a Firebolt. I don't really need them. I already can cast the Dimension Door, and the Fireball. We already have a few uses of that, so I'm going to hold on to them and sell them because I have a bit of a charm about me per se. But should I unload them in Drift? Is it Drifthaven?
Drifthaven.
Is that what it's called? Should I unload them in Drifthaven or wait until we get to Oxenford? What is
I
your
think you'll probably
economic
make a bit
mind?
more. I reckon you'll make a bit more at Oxenfurt because the unseen university, the students there are always looking for opportunities to study. You could potentially flog it off at a higher price, pit the students against one another.
Well, I shall
It's a bit
hold
like the
on to
Bard's
them for
College.
now. And well, I was a bit of a star back in my day.
It's a lot more nerdy though.
maybe,
I mean, these are people who study magic for a living.
Yeah, mine were mostly just playing hacky sack and going to a lot of parties. Didn't actually
Is that the
really
Bard's
do a lot
College?
of-
Is that
Didn't really do a lot
Right.
of study.
okay?
Anyway,
It's because on here it says on your CV that you got straight high distinctions in political studies.
oh no, I did. I didn't really like. I didn't go to the classes much, but when the test came about, I'm just such a natural that I just aced them all. Didn't even have to try. It's
He's
pretty
going to insight
pathetic,
check
actually,
that.
watching
He's going to
the
insight
other-
check that.
I don't even know. I'm just going off the fly here. I don't know. Like, even as me, I don't know.
I
if
love the idea
I did
that
this.
Jin would transform into the examiner, walk into the room, pretend to be the examiner, and just do the
that's good,
test
actually.
himself.
Okay, fair enough.
Because literally, I don't even know.
up to you.
Actually, Owen, did I actually get high distinctions?
It's up to you. Do you think Jin would have got them by doing no study and just rocking up, or do you think he would have had to have employed some sort of duplicity, which is probably how you got noticed by the Harpers? It would kind of make sense that you're.
I think I would have. No, my intelligence is like -1. I totally did the whole thing that you just said.
transformed into the examiner to get
I
access
totally
to the
did
test
that.
results
I have a
beforehand.
-1 intelligence. I'm not a hidden savant.
I could imagine Jin transforming into someone and breaking into where the exams are kept and just giving yourself like straight A's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you did get high distinctions, but you did not deserve them.
Okay.
I like that. That's good. That
My
makes
wisdom
sense.
is like a flat neutral.
And it kind of
My
makes sense with
charisma
some
is
of your
super high.
history rolls as well. That does make sense with some terrible
I didn't
history
really have
rolls.
any proper schooling, so
No.
why would I be good at school? That's why I have a -1 in intelligence.
Okay.
Perfect.
Alrighty. Is there anything else you want to do with Leosin?
Ironically, I'm actually talking a lot of sense though with the finances.
No, absolutely.
Let's say that Jin. I don't know.
Okay.
I guess I'm the one holding all the money.
Yeah.
So I don't know really how to. I guess when it comes to finances, I don't really know how to explain that one actually. I just know.
Just experience. Alrighty. Let's jump over to Yervith. Yervith, as you head downstairs and head towards your room and begin sort of like trying to get the Drake out from your clothes, it leaps out onto the desk and sort of lands sort of scrabble of claws on the desk. It's definitely bigger than it was even a few minutes ago. It's now sort of getting up to the size of a Labrador. It's getting quite large. Almost too large to carry.
Why, you've gotten bigger in the last couple of moments.
Sort of yawns and does this big stretch, sort of moving its shoulder blades into position, and then lies down on your bed.
What a curious creature. Kind of give it a little bit of a scratch and kind of a little smile cracks over Yervith's face. Probably the first smile in a very long time that he's had. Sort of just looking intently at this creature that's just seemingly appeared before him.
Oh yeah, sorry, you go.
No, you go.
I was gonna say, what sort of emotion would Yervith be feeling right now?
Yeah, very interesting feelings of emotion. I think Yervith would probably feel like he spent a lot of his time trying to survive on his own and finding it difficult to sort of fit in or find companions. So all of a sudden, here he is with this creature that's now under his responsibility.
Yeah,
I think he'd be feeling, as far as he knows, he would be feeling quite attached and dare I say a little happy. It's kind of like, if someone goes through like trauma and then you get them like a pet, and they feel
like a therapy dog or a support dog.
Yeah, it's kind of like that a little bit.
I hadn't even realized this, but totally, you've been given a support Drake.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Hey, don't forget you have a brother as well. So
that's true.
Oh my god. Yeah, but as you sort of begin to feel these feelings of joy, you watch as the color of the scales begins to bleed and shift, changing from black to a brilliant green.
My eyes sort of widen a little bit, and at the thought of that, and I'm like, there are things to you that I do not fully understand, but this is interesting. You can change your color. What else can you do, I wonder?
Whoa.
It's sort of
do you have
yawns.
a mirror in your room?
Yeah, there'd be a mirror there.
Yeah.
Check your eye color.
You turn and look, you have green eyes again.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
As you say, what else can you do? It sort of looks down at the floor, and you watch as it spits this sort of purple glob of liquid onto the floor, that as it hits, there's this sort of like moment of sizzle, and the purple sort of glob begins like moving out through the cracks in the wood, as it's currently in green form.
I look at it and I'm like really impressed, and then I'm suddenly like, I hope that doesn't stain. I don't want to get on the Leos's bad side. But that's good. That's really good. Well done. Give it a bit of a pat.
It sort of like nuzzles into it, enjoying the pat, makes a sort of a bit of an odd purring noise, this sort of strange, almost like a purr growl at the back of its throat.
I can't believe you haven't eaten anything yet. Are you hungry? You didn't seem hungry.
It looks at you with these sort of very piercing eyes, sort of reflecting back almost amusement to that question. I feed on your life essence. No, it doesn't say that.
In your Lockie voice.
Yeah. As you're sort of looking into its eyes, you hear this voice in the back of your mind, Yervith. Oh, so good to have another one of the crew join my team. No, you don't hear that. No, you don't hear that.
Oh, shit.
I couldn't resist.
Oh, it's so cool.
Couldn't resist.
Another warlock.
We're 3 for 5 and only 2 to go. No, you don't hear that.
Cool.
No, you just get the sense of amusement coming from the Drake as it looks at you as you ask the question, like, surely you need to eat, little one. Just sort of amusement reflected back at you.
Amazing. I just sit there and just looking in awe at this creature.
Yeah. Over the next hour, it grows a little bit more and maxes out at, let me just quickly pull open its size. Actually, that is its maximum size when it takes the so that's it. Sorry, that is the size of a largish or a medium-sized dog, size of a Labrador.
Yep.
It's Green Dragon, and I have updated Yervith's artwork to reflect his new companion. I will be putting it up, and we have a Drake for Yervith. Actually, I can probably put it on the stream really quickly. Let me do that because it's really cool. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Bring it up in a second. While we're doing that, let's jump over to Shana. Shana, as you begin focusing, trying to contact Varys, are you saying anything? Are you doing anything in particular?
Just muttering under her breath, like she doesn't want to be overheard by anyone or seem overly sus. So I think like she's sort of going to look as if she's, looking off the edge of the boat, like pondering the reflection, maybe looking like she's being wistful for Lyra. But and yeah, just like under her breath, she's like, "Hey, dude, you there? You there? I do need to know how much we can actually tell our friends about you, or if we need to just keep it on the down low completely. If you don't say anything, I'm going to assume that's full permission, by the way."
You hear no response.
Full permission given. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
There you go. I've just put it in the artwork section so you can see it. There we go. You hear no response, Shana. And as you reach out with your mind and try and sort of connect to Varys, you hear nothing. You feel nothing. Only silence.
Oh
Oh my. Ooh.
That's not good.
Power.
At a game, I assume that he's used his newfound power and is off busy doing things.
Yeah.
At a game.
My assumption too. Well, while the cat's away, maybe the mice can play. And I don't know.
What was that?
I don't know. I think she's just sort of gonna have a think to herself, like, what is the best way to broach this topic with the others, essentially. Like, okay, how can we bring up our potentially evil patron without making it seem like a bad thing?
As you're kind of mulling this over and continually sort of pushing out these thoughts, finally you watch as your shadow begins to shift and change on the wall behind you, and stepping out from the wall is Varys. What is it? I'm rather busy.
Suspicious. How much can I tell them?
Tell who what? What are you talking about?
The rest of the party. They saw what happened with Jin, and now they have questions. How much can we tell them?
Are you really bothering me for this, Shana? Surely you know the answer to that question yourself.
Wonderful. Thank you. Bye.
Gives you a bit of a weird look and steps back into the shadows, disappearing. Shana, he has a series of black draconic scales up his chin and neck.
Oh.
And he steps back into the shadows and disappears.
Wait, do you actually have an answer to the question yet?
Get an answer. She's gonna take it the way that she kept saying. Alright, I think she's gonna go find Jin, I think, and try and get him where she can just like...
Well, I'm probably coming out of the finance meeting now.
Yeah.
Since so bored.
You've had your general meeting with the managers, with the finance, the bursar. Like, you've gone through essentially your tax invoice for the year. You're ready to submit and get some rebates. As Jin emerges from the captain's cabin after talking to Leosin, you start heading downstairs. Jin, you sort of, as you come down the stairs, Shana's just opening the door to come and look for you. You guys see each other in the lower deck in the kitchen.
Jin, a word. And she pulls him into the kitchen, like, or the galley area. Like, is there anyone else in the room?
Yeah, sitting on the kitchen table, sitting at the kitchen table with Barry is Mira, sort of going through some like
Barry.
detailed spell notes with him.
How goes your spellcasting?
I'm getting really good. Mr. Illyrian, I'm working really hard.
Ah, perfect. Keep it up. Mira is a great teacher. But
It's
and
just,
I just sort of look at him.
It's just so hard sometimes, like, to wrap my head around how it all works. I wonder if there's like a way it'd be easier. Like, could I have some other like? I just wonder if there's an easier way. Mira's like, hard work and study is the backbone of all good spellcasters.
I sort of look. I'm like behind Mira. I'm just shaking my head.
He sort of looks at you a bit confused.
I cast Minor Illusion behind Mira, and it's a sign saying, "It's okay, Barry. I'll teach you some of my tricks."
That's an impressive sign.
I got a second sign that's saying, "No, he will not. You need to be older."
Oh, he sort of pauses, looks at Mira, goes, "Do I need an adult?"
I dispel the Minor Illusion before she turns around.
Mira sort of looks around really confused and goes,
But I don't know if Shana has
an
or not.
What would you need an adult for, Barry? I am an adult. I don't understand.
Yes, Barry.
I'm a bit
Mira's
confused.
an adult. It's fine. Barry, just learn as much as you can.
Okay.
And then when Mira's not looking again, I go, "It's okay. I will teach you some fun things."
Okay.
Some fun things.
Fun magic. I'll put fun magic.
I was half expecting you to be like, seek Varys Nightshade.
No, I'm not doing that. I'm still a bard. I can do bard things.
True. Alrighty. Shana and Jin, you guys head out of the kitchen, down the corridor, down towards the end of the room. At the end, you can see essentially the prison, where a insane dwarf is muttering to himself.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I need the mask. Need the mask. Need the weight mask. I need the weight mask.
Quick question, Shana. How sensitive is this talk?
Super. Not enough that if he's faking the insanity that it'd cause issues.
He begins banging his head against the wall hard.
Is this information going to be sensitive enough that maybe I should use Lehman's tiny hut or something?
Oh, no, it's nothing that important. Mostly, I was just going to bring up, our mutual friend is going through some physical changes. Starting to look, a bit more like Yervith's new friend, actually.
Sorry, what was that again? My dad came in.
Varys came in.
Professional stream here.
Did Varys come in your room?
Varys came in.
My dad. What was that last bit though, Ali?
I was going to say, our mutual friend has undergone some visual changes and is somewhat resembling Yervith's new friend, and I'm wondering if the two are linked somehow.
His eyes were different than what I've heard, but who knows? It could be.
Scales, Jin. He has scales.
Yes. Okay, right. How about we go to my room and I'll cast the Lehman's tiny hut. That way no one can hear us. And my room should be enough that it doesn't really overlap into other rooms.
Yeah. You step into your room, close the door, cast a spell. You now know that you can't be overheard, the two of you.
Okay. You can say whatever we want. We can say whatever we want now, and no one will know. So anything super sensitive, they will not know. So, what do you want to do? What is your game plan?
I honestly don't know. I mean, we did what he asked. We destroyed the horn, and now it does appear that he's busy, so he's not paying as close an attention as he has previously.
Makes sense.
What do we do? I mean,
I think we will have to reveal a little bit. But the nature of that, it's hard. Mira and Lockie, they have enough on their plate with the whole Tiamat thing. They're very involved in that. So we have to be very careful how we approach this. Yervith, he's very preoccupied at the moment with the little ones, so yes, very sensitive.
I guess the question is that I need to ask you, what are your end game plans, Jin?
My end game plans? Well, to basically stop Tiamat from coming into the world or any evil god and fucking it up.
And so then my next question is it's clear what Varys' plans are, that he plans to come here. And I'm concerned, what if it turns out that does conflict with your other plan, which is stopping evil gods from coming here?
Well, having that chat with him that day, he very well could be our best option. That conversation changed my perception on things. Yeah, otherwise, they probably wouldn't even carried out the horn.
The trouble with the best option is sometimes it seems like it can be the best option at the time, but in hindsight, it doesn't. In 600 years ago, it seemed like the best option at the time to take Varys up on his deal, but in reality,
it ended up everybody got eaten. And, you know, the alternative to that is we all would have been plunged into forever darkness, and I'm not quite sure what is the worst option here.
I remember the conversation going a lot differently. Varys gave you the power, and you, Shana, and you've been very helpful, and it's good having you by my side in that encounter, but it was you that destroyed most of your realm.
Look, it's an interesting story. Tragic. It's our world was going dark. One by one, the stars disappeared from the night sky. And we realized before long we would be plunged into darkness. And, you know, nothing will grow without the light. And so we were frantically trying to come up with a new source. Something that can essentially replace the sun. In waltzes Varys with his charm and promises of, hey, I can give you your solution, the solution you were searching for. Saying that, he probably didn't quite expect us to launch it into space, but, you know, what I'm saying is sometimes his truth isn't the entire truth.
So he gave you the power and you misused it. I'm really not seeing your point. I'm sorry if I'm talking candidly.
How you think you've got powers, as have I now. How many times have you been so certain that you were doing the right thing, only to have it come back and you realize that you, in fact, played right into your enemy's hand and done the one thing that you probably shouldn't have?
Thinking about that, I really don't know, actually.
Up to you whether or not that's something that resonates with Jin.
I mean, like, I know I did all the murders and stuff. The assassinations.
Oh, yeah.
That's a t-shirt.
Oh, yeah, I did kill the guy.
That's a t-shirt. Get on the Lost Archives store. Next week we'll have the new t-shirt. You know, I did all the murders and stuff.
I don't think that ever came back and, like, bit me in the ass, though, per se.
Not yet.
Not yet.
That you're aware of as well, you know, it's how many actions have you taken that have led to the destruction of the homes and livelihoods of others without you even realizing it?
Potentially. But the thing that was snuffing at the lights, was that not Hadar, the hungering darkness?
Yes, it was.
So it wasn't Varys, or the Dreaming Dark.
No. Well, what ended up happening is I now realize with hindsight that the power source that Varys gave us would have been sufficient to power our city. We would have lived in darkness, but we could have survived underground. What I didn't realize is by launching the power source into space to try and create our own artificial sun, it was essentially a giant beacon for Hadar to say, hey, come here, or you can eat smorgasbord.
But did he give you his power with the instruction to go underground and live off that?
No, he just gave it to us.
So he gave you the power and it was up to you guys to decide how to use it.
Again, I don't think it was quite on his wheelhouse that we would potentially launch it into the unknown, but, I mean, he's a god after all, shouldn't he know everything?
The gods are flawed just like us. I wouldn't say they ever all-knowing. They all have their own patrons, their own sort of fields of expertise, I guess. So I wouldn't say that he knows everything. How would he know that you would shoot his energy source out into space and destroy everything?
Greens and charisma, the god that understands people to the nth degree and can play on their drives and their ideals to get what he wants, didn't think that a team of people that research technology wouldn't think to launch this power source into space to replace the power source from space that they lost.
I think that could have went many a way. I think the way it unfolded, unfortunately, was horrible, but I don't think. Look, I don't entirely trust Varys. I don't entirely trust anybody. But it'd be, yeah, I don't think he's the worst. I think there's a lot worse that we could pick from.
Sure as well, Jim. You know as well as I do. He's not all good. He's not all evil, but he's definitely not good.
There are many shades of grey to him. And
50 to be precise.
50. Well, anyway, besides that, how are we going to tackle the party? They're a little bit on edge.
We can either tell them the truth or we can lie to them.
I don't think we tell them the entire truth. But I think we have to tell them something.
That we have the same patron.
Well, yes.
And that he gives us direction? They probably won't go for that.
How about we think on it for now, and we'll talk to our party and come up with something in the future.
Alrighty. And with that, I think we might wrap up there, and we'll pick this up again next week. Unless, did you have something you wanted to say, Matt?
No, not at all.
Do you want to say that comment you wrote?
No, just a little pimp my ride meme.
Yo, we heard you like sun, so we put a sun in your sun so you get some sun while you're in the sun. Yeah. I love that. I literally heard it read out in that voice. It was great. Alrighty, I think that's a good place to wrap up. So we will be back again next week. Now, next week we won't be back on Wednesday. I think everyone's free on the Tuesday. Is that correct?
I think it looks like the Tuesday.
Tuesday looks good. Okay, done. So we'll be back next Tuesday for more D&D. For YouTubers and podcast listeners, this will be out same time. I'll be uploading it. No, it won't be. I'll be a bit late because I won't be back until the Friday night. So I'll probably be editing it and putting it up on the Saturday morning. So it'll be a little bit late coming out. But we will definitely be back in next week to see see what the conclusion of this is going to look like. The conclusion of this arc, because this is kind of wrapping up the North arc as we kind of get through and get a bit closer towards, I guess in a way, like the penultimate battle for this campaign. We're getting closer and closer to the end of the campaign, so it's gonna be very, very interesting. But don't worry, I've already got the second campaign, pretty much the first 20 sessions and the general story written out, so I know exactly what it's going to look like.
Wow.
Well, it depends. I know I've got 4 different options depending on what these guys pick. I reckon I've figured out there's 4 different ways it could go down at the end of this. So I think I've got an idea about what they're going to do, but I hope it's one of those 4. Actually, no, I hope it's not, because that'd be really cool. If you guys have thought of something I haven't, that'd be cool.
Okay. Interesting.
All right.
Good to know.
Thank you so much, everybody. We will see you all again next week. Stay safe, stay well, and yeah, we'll see you next time. Mwah. Goodbye, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Till next time.
Thank you.